Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on the Territorial IO 1.99.8.1 update. Today we're going to be going through the different changes that have been implemented in the game, including a game-breaking bug that we're going to touch on and the status of. So let's jump into the changes. Alright, so the first changes that we're going to talk about are the ships. So one thing that you can see whenever you launch a ship, if you look in the bottom corner, you'll see a new indication that says that ship is launched. So effectively, we just have some different notifications. The other thing that you can notice is when you select the ship, like here, you can see the ship selected indication and the other indication of ship on the way. This is effectively giving people some different updates. I'm not sure how useful it will be. The other dynamic, which will be a little bit harder for most people to notice, is that depending on how zoomed out you are, you have different hitboxes for ships that should help you with moving them. In the past, this has been really tough, so this is actually a great change and one of the things that I recommended. So basically it's saying if you are click a little bit further away when you're further out, ships can still be redirected, which just makes this overall more functional. In terms of the next change, we have some updated details with statistics. So for those of you who don't know, if you go to the bottom left corner, click here, go to More, then go to Game Statistics, you can see different things about your territory, balance, interest, and numbers. Apparently, this was broken, but this should give you some new information for those of you who are interested in these features. The next change we're going to talk about is related to shortcuts and hotkeys. So if we go back to our main page and we go under Game menu, we go to Settings, what you can see here in the middle is you have some updated shortcut keys. Effectively, you can now choose different types of shortcuts. I've heard some critiques that some of the previous shortcuts that were used by 1v1 players are no longer working, and that basically causes problems for some of their gameplay. Overall, I think this is good, but there's important needs to consider how these type of changes are affecting different people in the game. All right, so now we have to talk about the thing that likely most people are interested in, the so-called pirate boat glitch. So those of you who have been playing Territorial IO have likely seen some games where someone has gotten 1 billion troops, it's all a PM or whatever, and there's some other people trying it, and there is a game-breaking glitch. I can't ethically teach you how to do this, but I will show you once it's been fixed. As far as I know, it's still active so that there are still people cheating in the game. Watch out for it. Basically try to sink their boats if you want to stop them. And whenever it does get fixed by the creator, I will show you some videos on the bullshit I dealt with going through with that. So now we're actually going to go talk about some of the different updates from September and October that I missed that will give you some insight into how the game is changing. So let's jump into it. So one of the updates from the past months has been the introduction of a new map called Mountains 2. Mountains 2 is a very unique map in the sense that there is an updated dynamic that you can now mine through mountains. So let's jump into it and show you how it works. All right, so in order to mine in Mountains 2, all you need to do is click on one of the mountains and hit the mine button. And what happens is you instantly send your troops out to the other side like this. This can happen in any place, as you can see here. You can attack anyone on this mountain border, and it allows you to get into some of these pockets. Most people I know don't play mountains, and it's an interesting dynamic. For a brief period of time, there were some contests on Mountains 2 that were, I would say, interesting, but it is a new kind of game mode, and it's cool to see David going in this direction. Other than this, there is one new dynamic with basically how people are being defeated in the game, so let's show you it. All right, so now that we're down to our final bot here, there is a new type of defeat dynamic that I describe as the pop dynamic. Effectively, what happens if you attack someone, which will attack the mountain attack here, what you're gonna see is that this bot is gonna disappear before I even reach its borders. It's a kind of pop and disappear dynamic that effectively people are being defeated before all their territory is being taken up. They just kind of disappear right about now. So you see that happens in games, and it's leading to a lot of people being defeated. One new thing that you should know is you can now survive in games with no land and just a boat. It actually has a lot of potential. So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to stay in games and fight on islands, you have to have a boat. Otherwise, you'll just lose if the majority of your land is getting attacked and is about to disappear. In addition to these features, there's some different menu options that you can now see in Territorial IO. So we're now at my account page. So one thing you can see here is there's now a gold transfer button. And effectively, I can confirm to send gold to different players, whoever that may be. Gold still doesn't really have a purpose other than keeping your count alive, but you can now send gold. Besides this dynamic, you also have the feature of a bio. So for a small fee, you can now have a bio and you can see what other people say online. Let's go take a look at one. So this is the bio of OG Arrow. They're currently the top ranked player, and effectively they can write whatever they want. You now have the option to report it to, which is based on the admin system that I touched on in a previous update. In addition to this dynamic, you also have a clan leader feature, as you can see right here. So you can go click on someone and you can elect them clan leader, which will basically give you some type of indication on the leaderboards, which we'll look at right now. So as you can see for top clans, you can see their different leaders based on who's voted for them. People like this OG Discord link, you can see Middle Franken is elected leader of Corgi. You can see Marsern, leader of EU, and you can even find me down lower on the leaderboard wherever I am. In addition to these features, you can see on this page, we now have a tab called Logs. So Logs is a tab that shows you effectively who's voting, who's electing, and so on. So let's click on it. What you can see, for example, is if we go to clan leader election, there's also this blockchain which does updates for gold. You can see who has voted. So you can see that in this case, I voted for myself, Enzo Plays votes for Enzo Plays. You can see this for anything. If you look under 1v1 reports, you can see who's reporting who. The same goes for gold and blockchain. If people are donating information, it's a good type of infrastructure to see what people are doing, even if most of these dynamics don't have big implications right now. In addition to these dynamics, there's now an improved search option on the leaderboard. So if we go down to the bottom right and click on options, you can search for people based on their username you see in game. So if we want to see who are the people who have the Enzo tag on, for example, you can see fan of Enzo, Brave Hornet, Eurasia, and with this, you can actually click on these, and there's a specific string query, which basically means that there is a URL tag to this account name. So if you want to see if this person ever switches their name, who they are, how many points they have, look at that, 32 points a game, 3 games won, whatever you want to see. Basically, this is a feature that you have. All this said, thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to stay tuned to my channel for more updates. If you want to see the bullshit of the pirate boat glitch and basically cheating, that will be coming out shortly whenever our grand leader, David, fixes things. So thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.